I want to ask you if the election season has any effect on how you run your strategies. Like, do you take more or less risk because of it? Do you see it as there's going to be a fiscal impulse, and so you want to capitalize on that, or interest rates are going to come down drastically because someone wants to get elected or wants to make the population happy? Does that affect you at all, or do your systems, your strategy systems, are independent of that?
Yeah, so the long-term trend following strategies that I use, which are, as close to buy and hold as you can get, with exception to these major indicators that help me understand when I should reduce risk, are triggered by whatever event is occurring in markets. I guess this kind of goes back to our conversation about astrology and markets. I don't. If I've built the strategy to include every event in history, including FOMC days, election events, COVID, everything, then it's already been captured there.
Mm.
So for some of the stock investments, I leave that fully exposed unless my strategy triggers a reason to reduce risk or exit positions entirely. On the future side, though, it gets a little bit tougher when I'm trying to manage positions and the margin requirements change because volatility is expected to be so high that they lift the margin requirements. So I keep plenty of cash there to make sure that I can work through those events. But it is an indicator that there's going to be higher volatility, so I might take lower risk on those days. I haven't really baked in anything to account for that yet. Right now, I am avoiding volatility by measuring it. So if I see too much or too high of an ATR, it effectively is a filter for trading in general.
I see.
Looking for low ATR moments to get into a certain position, and I'm measuring size accordingly. So I think it depends. It depends on which strategy we're talking about, which approach that I'm taking. But it is a measured approach, and I'm also trying to account for it not being sort of emotional or gut driven either. If, like I said, with the first strategy in stocks, if I've already accounted for all these events over 20 years of data, then I may as well just trade through the presidential election because that's already part of the strategy.
I understand. Okay. It's also different. You're so I mean, it's funny. It's like being in the crypto space. You're like, this is a low volatility asset. Well, no, it's low volatility for the crypto space. It's still pretty volatile. So any market participants like us, we're taking more risk than the average person takes. But the sort of I swing for I swing for a home run. Those are the only swings I want to do. I'm going to swing as hard as possible. If I miss the ball, I miss the ball. All I want are home runs. That's all I'm looking for one thing to pay off for a bunch of other trades. But different styles.